And Steve Daniels off the anchor desk out in the field, joining us live tonight, leading our coverage of the president's visit. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Lauren and Bianca. We're live here on Durant Road in North Raleigh, outside the Abbott's Creek Community Center, where President Biden made his first stop today. He was there announcing a big economic investment, but at the end of the day, this is a big campaign stop for Vote 2024 and a reminder of the power of our votes here in North Carolina. Just moments ago, the president leaving a meeting with a family here in North Raleigh off Falls of the Noose Road. The White House calling this a kitchen table conversation as he tries to make connections here in our community. Biden did not win North Carolina in the 2020 election, and he's trying to change that this year. Before that stop, President Biden was at Abbott's Creek Community Center here off Durant Road, where he announced $82 million in new investments to connect thousands of homes and businesses to high-speed internet. The president's so-called Bidenomics, a big focus of his visit here to Raleigh today. Tom George and Michael Perchik are joining me here for live Eyewitness News team coverage tonight. Let's begin with Tom and that big announcement today. Tom, what does this mean for families here in North Carolina?
Well, the president says it'll mean a lot. They're touting this as a major investment. Of course, all politics is local, and he really wanted to drive home the point that he says this new technology will really benefit people here in North Carolina. Now, as part of the president's speech, the main focus was on expanding broadband internet. He announced a major investment to the tune of $3 billion. What that would do is it would expand fiber optic cables and really expand that network across the country, including parts of rural North Carolina who really need it. That would include those new fiber optic networks that would last for the next generation, also creating subsidies for low-income residents to access the internet. But as part of his greater economic message, he also wanted to remind people that this new $3 billion investment is on top of other funds over the past several years that he says his administration has been able to bring home to our state.
All told, during my presidency, we've invested, and I know it's going to sound like not much to you all, but $11 billion in North Carolina. $11 billion in infrastructure, clean energy, everything from high-speed internet to clean water. Why was this shit?
Yeah, really emphasizing that word billion with a B for North Carolina. And he said that internet goal would be a longer-term project. The goal would be to have that part of it done by the year 2030. But more immediately, he wanted to invest $82 million that would add that internet for 16,000 more homes here in North Carolina. So President Biden really very much in campaign mode as we head into 2024. As he was discussing that, he also tried to take a jab and draw a contrast with his predecessor, former President Donald Trump, essentially saying that he would favor the rich and that he basically didn't know what he was talking about. So really trying to drive home that point, his economic message here for voters in North Carolina. And Steve, as we said, all politics is local, so likely not his final stop here in 2024.
Absolutely. It was about a 20-minute speech here at the community center to an invitation-only crowd this afternoon. Tom, thank you. Let's bring in Michael Perchik now. Michael, the president really working to get out here in the Wake County community today as part of his visit. Tell us more.
Steve, that stop at, that visit, not part of the president's public schedule, rather a campaign stop. That fairly surreal scene, the motorcade pulling up to this home along Falls of Noose, a residential neighborhood. As you can see in this video, the president getting out of the vehicle, greeting the family before walking inside for an hour-plus long discussion. His campaign telling me that that is a family of an educator who received student loan forgiveness. Of course, that is a policy the president has repeatedly pushed while he has been in office, the one that has faced serious challenges and political pushback. It's also a topic of particular focus here in the Triangle, which is home to a bustling student and a young professional population.
And Michael, quite a visit there here in that North Raleigh neighborhood. The president will be emphasizing that on the campaign trail over the next 10 months, certainly. You're also checking in with the Republican Party to get their perspective on the president's visit today.
The NC GOP not mincing words. They believe this is the most important state of this upcoming cycle, and the data does really back that up. It was a state decided by about 1.4% in 2020, the fifth closest margin of any state. The president's trip comes just a week after Vice President Kamala Harris stopped in Charlotte to discuss gun violence and mental health resources. It's a state historically Republicans simply cannot afford to lose. I had a chance to chat with NC GOP Chair Michael Whatley about the party's prospects. Here's what he had to share.
The biggest by far is inflation. You know, when you think about the fact that in the Trump administration, inflation was below 2%. Since President Biden took over, it's been 17%. That's the cost of bread. It's the cost of electricity. It's the cost of all groceries. It's the cost of gasoline.
Yeah, he says that was the one key issue candidates have repeatedly heard about. Now, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Consumer Price Index has risen 3.4% year over year as of December. That rate has actually slowed considerably, which is a positive for the president. But on the flip side, the reason why it has slowed likely has to do with those interest rate hikes. That has slowed the housing market. Steve, we know with all the growth happening across the triangle, that also has been a point of emphasis and focus for folks here.
And you make a good point. Former President Trump won North Carolina in 2016, and he won North Carolina again in 2020. But certainly we are a battleground, and the Democrats and President Biden are fighting for those votes here, hoping they can flip North Carolina this election year. Michael, thank you. And there were also some people who came out to protest during the president's visit today. A small group of demonstrators gathering here along Durant Road, calling for an immediate and permanent ceasefire amid the Israel-Hamas war. They're calling on Congress to do more to protect the Palestinian people in the Middle East right now. Meanwhile, the president is on the move tonight. He's getting ready to leave the RDU airport on Air Force One in the next 20 minutes or so, and that could have an impact on traffic in the area. It has been impacting traffic through the afternoon. Anna Rivera is in our traffic center right now in the studio, mapping it out for us. Anna?
Well, Steve, you mentioned his route, kind of the way he's going, and we know that we're in the midst of that evening commute. So things are going to be busy regardless, and then you add a presidential visit and it really gets really busy right now. I actually just got a text from Steve Stewart asking me about Falls of News. He said he can't get home right now because it is closed, which means the president is officially on the move. So let's show you the route that we are expecting him to take. He's going to go from Falls of News onto 540 West and then all the way back to the airport. We're assuming that he'll stay on 540 westbound all the way back to the airport. So that's really the area that's going to be shut down for the longest. And it's already causing some issues. We also had a crash near Falls of News in 540. So that really has slowed people down. Take a look at this at 540 westbound. Some of the speeds 2 miles per hour, 38 miles per hour as you kind of work your way down a little bit. So it's easing up, but until the president is gone, we're likely going to see delays like that. You can see the speeds are going up a little bit. So things are looking a lot better. If you want to avoid this completely, I have a couple of suggestions. 440 might be better, 40 and C98 depending on where you're going, and also Strickland Road. Steve.
Okay, traffic trouble should be easing soon, Anna. Air Force One expected to be wheels up sometime around 5:30 or so. Thanks for that update. And Lauren and Bianca, no trip here to the Triangle is complete without an important stop at a cookout. The president and Governor Cooper stopping at the fast food place over on Falls of the Neuse Road. The president getting a vanilla milkshake with chocolate syrup. The governor getting a shake with M&Ms, and the president actually went back to the window there and he said, hey, wait a second, a cookout shake. You need a spoon for that. A straw will not do you any good because they are super thick. So the president working to connect people with people here. Certainly a reminder that the re-election campaign is in full swing right now. President Biden here looking to assemble as much support, as many votes as he possibly can. We'll stay on top of it. More coverage during the Eyewitness News 5 o'clock hour here. Lauren.
All right, Steve, thank you.